Welcome to the Growth Zone. Today we are not talking about madness or other crazy things in business or in this world. We are actually talking about sensible things that businesses need. So, when it comes to innovation can be a multitude of things that we can do, whether we develop a new process of how to manufacture a product, a chemical formula, or even a software that can do something fantastic for us, make life easier. Just even look at these carpet sweepers, these small carpet robots and that make us a little bit lazy, and at the same time when we don't have them for a while and we notice, I have to use again my vacuum cleaner. That's a lot of work. When you think, hey, we haven't got a mansion. We haven't got 50 rooms to vacuum clean. So, what's innovation for a business? A business could benefit from, for instance, new kind of software applications. Looking at what's happening in the European Union and the United Kingdom, we see it's not only a political change that's happening in different countries and regions, it's as well businesses are actually starting to think again how they've been using software, how they've been using it as well for their own staff, even topics like how do we train our people to have new skills. The thing is, you can't just go to the labor market and order a new set of employees as if you'd be going to Amazon and ordering a new pair of boots or a new computer or the latest DVDs. It doesn't work that way. We have to train people the way they are able to learn the fastest, acquire new skills, and adapt to faster, more efficient and effective ways of doing business. And that exactly means for us that as business owners, as business leaders, we have to find ways to be organized in a better way. The thing is, to a certain degree, we can always apply software. And the other part of it is always as well, how do I organize things? For instance, as an example, I'm currently here, got on my desk a variety of different papers. I've got some newer ones and older contracts that we've had for different software applications. I've got a pricing catalog, a subscription prediction, quarterly revenue prediction, order forms, and all sorts of different kinds of templates and documentation. And the oldest here is from 2010, so that's over 10 years old. And I'm looking how this can be actually updated into today's world. The thing is, when you think of it, software, rules, legal regulations and so on, compliance rules and so on, they keep evolving. Every year, different countries add new taxation rules, new laws here and there. Some ideas that the governments have are really silly, they don't work out, so that they have to fix them. So they need a fixture for the fixture of the other fixture of their idea that originally was just stupid and was totally out of bounds of reality. And that's exactly the same thing. So innovation in the end happens at the top, at the middle, and at the bottom as well of organizations. And when we go and think, okay, how could we actually improve our business? It's by using smarter software as well. Software that is able to allow us to adopt as well better ways of working with each other as well. Because even if departments don't work together well, hey, you're going to have quite some grinding in there to do. And that makes people tired. It makes people quit. It makes people do stupid things. And exactly that's what we need to do to have software that is much easier to use. And that brings us exactly to the topic of software as a service. So, what are SaaS applications? Software as a service applications are nothing else than software that you do not install on your local computer, you do not install on your office software system, on your server, on your web server and so on, but actually it's running in the cloud. It's somewhere in the cloud, somewhere there in the internet, and depending on your settings, what your technical administrator set up, we can have a direct connection without bypassing the internet, and you can as well go directly through the internet to access these applications. And when you think of it, these applications, they can be highly complicated, but 20 years ago it would not have been possible because the internet was too slow and internet costs were too high, and the technology, even the cloud technology itself, wasn't advanced enough. And today it is much easier to use a highly complex application in a very efficient way, fast and easy, to even connect it with other systems, even legacy systems. And with legacy I mean old applications. Let's say you still have SAP CO, SAP controlling application, or you have an old Vision system running. Any kind of sort of system that way. Even if you've got a software that you bought from a small manufacturer and the manufacturer's gone long out of business, there's usually still a way to somehow get the data in and out of that software. Of course, at a certain point you'll eventually have to migrate to a modern system. And yeah, that's the great thing about these vertical applications. Vertical? Exactly. There are two different kinds of SaaS software applications. There are the horizontal and the vertical. The horizontal are tools like, for instance, a Hootsuite, Infusionsoft, Buzzer, and so on. All these other kind of products that have no direct relation to one particular kind of business, one industry niche in that. And the vertical applications are targeting a niche or a set of industries. It's a limited set of industries that it is looking at. And it provides a variety of services and functionalities that the other tools don't have, because the other tools are just focusing on one functionality. They are super good in that, but that's it. And it means as well that you eventually, when you want to have something different, you have to move, of course, the application. And if you become smaller or larger, in the end, these applications cost you more, because you have to have so many other products in use, because you need to have a tool to do your invoicing, you need a tool to have your accounting done, you need a tool for purchasing, human resources, and so on and so on and so on. And that creates a huge software bill. And some of these applications, they're so outdated, you still have to buy an expensive big license. You need a big hefty hardware, and it really makes you cough in a way when you think of that, what you're spending monthly or even yearly on service fees. Because the thing is, most old application models, you go and buy a software license. Yes, you buy, which means, for instance, you buy a server application, you have the server, the hardware, and so on, and it'll cost you 10, 20, 30, $50,000, 60,000 pounds, 80,000 euros, depending on what it is. And then you have to start depreciating it, which means your accounting has to do quite a lot of work every year until that thing is depreciated to $1, €1, £1. Yeah. But the software is running and running. And then there's a point when you say, oh, I need some software updates. That costs extra. Wait a minute. Why do I need to pay for software updates? Exactly, because you purchase it. It's the same thing like buying a car or having a leasing contract where you every 3 or 5 years you get a new car, which still means that you have to take the car, of course, to being serviced, and a variety of service elements are already paid inside your monthly fees, but you don't have the trouble of doing the depreciation and all these other things. And after 3, 4, 5 years, anyway, you get a brand new car. And in these cloud applications, the same thing. You don't have to take the cloud application to be updated. You don't have to do the updates yourself even. They're all done automatically. The software's there every day. You're there, you're logging in, and it's available in the newest version. And that makes life a little easier as well for your IT people, because they've got plenty of other tasks to do. It's not as if we are exploding in the amount of people we can get out of universities and colleges and so on that have the necessary IT skills to manage today's infrastructure or even technology. So that makes it absolutely necessary for us to be able to get rid of some ballast that's running around in our organizations. And that's exactly the thing. It's these software applications. It's the accounting systems, the sales tools. Could you imagine how your sales staff would be happy to have a product that works properly, has newest updates, can deal with social media, can even combine all the work that the marketing department is doing, so that the sales team start actually enjoying working with their colleagues of marketing and selling more. And the marketing team are actually noticing what's happening at the sales desk and noticing when they do a little bit of a change that might be even better, they are even able to sell more. And then they're absolutely excited how they can actually tweak the marketing to drive the productivity, the sales, the profits up. And eventually everybody is benefiting from it. And that's where you need to think about if it's time to change the way you are using software in your business. In the next few episodes, we'll be talking about all different other topics of innovation, organization, and modification of business processes.